Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fragrance review. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And today I have the pleasure to speaking to you guys a little bit about a fragrance from the company Frank Los Angeles. And this is their second release. It was released back in 2007 and the fragrance goes by the name Number 2. So before I get into the heart of the review, I just want to mention that if you are interested in purchasing this fragrance, you may find it at luckyscent.com. I trust Lucky Scent with my niche purchases, really great customer service, fast shipping, and reasonable prices. Now, of course, we know niche prices are a little bit on the heftier side, but this line in particular is pretty reasonably priced. Now, I originally purchased this fragrance several years ago, and the thing with this fragrance that really caught my attention is that it contains two notes, lavender and plum. Now, I've never been the biggest fan of lavender, and a lot of the lavender-based fragrances that I do own kind of remind me of like a Glade plug-in or some sort of air freshener that's usually used to mask the smell of bad odors. So for this one in particular, I said, I hope it doesn't smell like that because I love plum. Andy Warhol by Bond No. 9 is one of my favorite fragrances bearing the note of plum. So I said, let's see if this one is any similar to that. Let's see if it's comparable to that. And I was quite impressed by the way that it smells. So I'm excited to tell you guys a little bit more about it. I think the perfumer behind this one is Bertrand Duchaufour. The reason I say that is because he has done both number 1 and number 3 for this company. And with this one, it does certainly have that DNA, that sort of pushing the envelope, unique, let's do something different DNA that Bertrand Duchaufour's creations usually carry with them. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this fougere by taking a look at the presentation. Here's a presentation for Frank Los Angeles number 2. I do apologize, I only have the box for number 1. I had a hard time locating the box for number 2, but this is basically what it looks like. Nice shiny stretch of the perimeter here at the top, concentration at the bottom, ingredients at the very bottom, and then the website on the back, and then you have the Frank logo at the top. The bottle for this one has a brownish color. It looks pretty cool. Nothing at the bottom. The cap has a snug fit, but it does not click into place. And the distribution for this one is actually really good. That was a presentation for number 2 by Frank Los Angeles. So the first thing I noticed about this when I sprayed it on is that the lavender dominates. And I guess when I purchased it, I thought to myself, man, I kind of wish that the plum were a little bit stronger. And I think that's probably my only qualm about this fragrance is that I love plum. And I love plum as it's used in 1270 by Frapin. I love plum as it's used in Andy Warhol by Bond No. 9. And there are a few other fragrances, even Sensei, or She Sensei by Piotr Czarnecki. And with those fragrances, it's really loud and clear, and I love that it dominates and that it brings forth this sweet nuance about it. For this one, there's something else about it that I grew to like. So initially, I wasn't really impressed with this fragrance, or I wasn't pleased, I wasn't happy or satisfied, because my expectations were a little bit different. As I continued to wear it, I thought to myself, man, the lavender in here really makes this fragrance smell gentlemanly, and it does. And there's also this boozy note of cognac in the background with coriander and some spices in there that are also used in the fermentation of certain alcoholic spirits. And as I smelled it more and more, I thought to myself, you know what, this fragrance isn't that bad. And I actually came around to really liking this fragrance. Now, if I had to say there was one in the line that I like more than the other, whether it be 1, 2, or 3, I honestly can't choose. I would rate them all equivalently. I would say they're all really great scents and they all bring something different to the table. And I think that's something that I really like about the Frank house is that they offer or proffer quite a bit of variety among their clientele. You have number 3, which is a little bit on the sweeter side. You have number 1, which is on the fresh, spicy, herbal side. And then you have this one, which smells like lavender, a little bit of plum, but you also have that sophistication coming in from the note of cognac. When would I wear this scent? All the time, honestly. If you want to convey the fact that you are a gentleman, you want to convey the fact through the use of lavender that you are sophisticated, that you're well grounded in your pursuits, your endeavors, your belief, and your philosophies, I would highly recommend you check out this scent. I think it brings a lot of really interesting things to the table, and it's another one of Bertrand Duchaufour's brilliant creations that I can't go without having in my collection now. I do apologize once again for having this box. I'm only using this as reference, but the box for number 2 looks exactly the same. So guys, let's go ahead and finish things off by taking a look at the rating. So the first thing I did is I took a look at the uniqueness and the overall smell, and this is a very unique fragrance. I've smelled fragrances with plum in them before. I've smelled boozy fragrances. I've smelled lavender-based fragrances. This one, the lavender comes across so natural. The booze is that delicate balance in the background, and the plum really proffers a nice bit of sweetness to the composition. All in all, I would say this is a very unique scent, and that brings us to our next category, longevity. It lasts a long time. It is eau de parfum concentration, but I have gotten 8+ hours from it, so it behaves a little bit as though it were stronger than an eau de parfum. Projection on this one is pretty solid too. You do get a little bit of citrus in there. It's nothing that's pronounced, but maybe in the opening when you first spray it, it is going to be quite louder. Once it does settle, which is around the 2 to 2.5 hour mark, it does sit a little bit closer to the skin, but it radiates, I would say, about an elbow's length for a solid 6 to 7 hours. It's at that 7-hour mark when it becomes a skin scent, so that's probably when you would want to reapply it, but it gets you through the workday, and that's the best time when you want to convey your gentlemanly appeal, right? When you're at work and you're trying to seem professional, or when you are professional in front of others. And then, of course, we also have versatility. Versatility is pretty good. I do think the versatility for number 1 in this line is a little bit better. The versatility on this one is decent though as well. Price point, you can wear this one casually. You can wear this one in a shirt and tie, suit and tie, because it is sophisticated. The only thing about this one is because it lacks the sweetness that number 1 has and the sweetness that number 3 has, I would say it's probably suited for somebody 25 and up or even 30 and up, because it has that gentlemanly quality about it. But that's the only downfall. That's the only shortcoming. Presentation is decent. There's really not much to say. Standard box, standard bottle, but I do think it's classy nonetheless. And if I were to give this fragrance an overall score, it would earn from me a 4 out of 5. I think that it has a lot of really great things going for this fragrance, and I would certainly recommend it to somebody who is a fan of lavender, somebody who likes fougere fragrances, somebody who is looking for something that they can wear to work, something that they can wear with pride and confidence. But the only reason why I'm pretty reserved on giving it a 4 and not a 5 out of 5 is because, does this make my top favorites of all time? Probably not. It's a scent that I absolutely love, and it's a scent that I have been wearing for more than a year now, quite a bit. And you can see I did put a little bit of a dent in my bottle, but is it something that I would consider being in my top 5 or top 10 of all time? Probably not, but I do recommend this scent. Please make sure you give it a chance. I will be leaving a link down below to luckyscent.com where you can purchase this fragrance, and you may also opt to get a sample of it if you don't wish to commit to purchasing a full-size bottle. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching my video on Frank number 2 by Frank Los Angeles. If you, owner, have tried any fragrance from this line, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'd be interested in hearing from you guys. And also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos, top 10s, giveaways, unboxings, and a lot of other fragrance-related content. So remember, I smell well so you can smell good, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.